Hi, I'm going to go over some questions that Samantha Markle has presented in her court case to prove I don't know what. She wants to be acknowledged as Meghan's sister. So she has questions and I'm going to go over them. I only have 30 minutes on each video, so it might take more than one video to go over all of the questions. Samantha's first question. You are not an only child. Meghan's answer might be, she is the only child of Doria Raglan, the only child, the only female child, and Doria has no male children that she knows of. Next question. You have a half-sister named Samantha M. Markle. Meghan's answer might be that Meghan identifies Thomas Markle as her father. And you have a half-brother named Thomas Markle Jr., and that would be the same. That Meghan identifies Thomas Markle as her father. Your sister Samantha Markle has driven you to school on a regular basis at a certain period of your life. Her answer might be that Meghan has no full sister, and she could, if she wants, add that Samantha drove her to school, depending on what the situation is, or she might just say, I have no recollection of her driving me to school. You and your half-sister, Samantha Markle, have gone on shopping trips to a mall which was local to you. So the first part, you and your half-sister. Well, Meghan might answer, she has participated in activities with Samantha Markle in the past. You sent an email to Jason Naff with the subject line regarding Omid and Carolyn book, a copy of which is attached hereto and marked as Exhibit A. Well, that would be something I don't know about. She may or may not have sent an email, and that is for Meghan to decide how she wants to answer. The copy of the email attached hereto and marked as Exhibit A is a true copy of the email you sent. Again, that is for Meghan to decide how she wants to answer that question about the email. You sent an email to Jason Naff in which you stated for when you sit down with them, it may be helpful to have some background reminders, so I've included them below just in case. And that's about another email, so again, Meghan will have to answer that as she desires. You sent an email to Jason Naff in which you stated under the section entitled Family, Relationship with Family and Father, Past and Present, Media Pressure Crumbled Him, Thomas Markle, and he began doing press deals brokered by his daughter, Samantha. That's again about an email and a statement So that's for Meghan to decide. You sent an email to Jason Naff in which you stated under the section entitled Family Relationship with Family and Father, Past and Present, media pressure crumbled him, Thomas Markle, and he began doing press deals brokered by his daughter Samantha. And that's again about an email, whether or not she wrote that, and that's for her to decide. You sent an email. I love email questions. You sent an email to Jason Naff in which you stated under the section entitled Family M's Relationship with Half Siblings, date, timing. Meghan saw them a handful of times when she was under age 5, and again when she was 11 years old. She didn't see her half-sister again until her father asked her to attend Samantha's graduation in New Mexico when Meghan was 22. And then again, she can confirm whether or not she sent that email. The statement, Meghan saw them a handful of times when she was under the age of 5 and again when she was 11 years old. She didn't see her half-sister again until her father asked her to attend Samantha's graduation in New Mexico when Meghan was 22 is false. So Samantha wants to say that she's lied about how often she saw Samantha. And Meghan can answer true to the best of my recollection. Now where are we? Number 12. You sent an email to Jason Naff in which you stated under the section entitled Family, M's relationship with half siblings, date, timing, upon Meghan dating Harry, Samantha changed her last name back to Markle and began a career creating stories to sell to the press. So that's going to be in an email. And Meghan can answer to the best of her recollection. That is what happened. You know that Samantha changed her name back prior to you dating Harry. And she can answer, I have no knowledge of what Samantha was doing. I was not in contact with her. 14. You send an email to Jason Naff. Boy, this Jason Naff is quite a source. In which you stated under the section entitled Family, M's relationship with half-sibling. Meghan has never had a relationship with either of them. She was always referred to as an only child by both her parents and all her friends through her entire upbringing because the half-siblings were not in the picture. And Meghan might answer, yes, she was always referred to as an only child by her parents. And close friends. The statement, Meghan has never had a relationship with either of them. She was always referred to as an only child by both her parents and all of the friends through her entire upbringing because the half-siblings were not in the picture is false. And Meghan can write that she disagrees. It's not false. There are more photographs of you and Mrs. Markle. Who's Mrs. Markle? Than the one you showed to the press, and you personally possess more photographs of your half-sister Samantha. So this is Thomas's first wife, Mrs. Markle. So they're photographs of Meghan and Thomas's first wife. I don't understand this question, but I haven't seen her photographs. Both your parents and all her friends. Well, she'll have to answer whether or not she has photographs of herself with Thomas's first wife. Or she can just say, I have no personal knowledge of any such photographs. Your husband, Prince Harry, emailed Jason Naff and stated, I totally agree that we have to be able to say we didn't have anything to do with it, and that equally, you giving the right context and background to them would help get some truths out there. And again, that's about an email. And Jason Naff again. You gave Jason Naff via email several background reminders for his meeting with the authors of Finding Freedom. That's again about an email. She stated in your primetime special interview with Oprah Winfrey on CBS that Mrs. Markle, Samantha Markle, it's very confusing. Samantha is calling herself Mrs. Markle, changed her last name back to Markle, and I think she's an early 50s at the time, only when I started dating Harry. And Meghan can answer. She has no personal knowledge of when Samantha began changing names, and she just gave the best information she had. Samantha Markle was born with the name of Yvonne Marie Markle. Meghan would have no knowledge of that. No personal knowledge. That would be a question for her father. You stated in a British court proceeding that neither you nor your husband had anything to do with the content of Finding Freedom. Well, Meghan can say she stands by whatever she said in a previous court proceeding. You did participate in providing some of the content relating to Samantha Markle to the authors of Finding Freedom. That's vague. How do you participate? What is she talking about? What issues is she talking about? I would say the question is vague and ambiguous. You told the British court, in light of the information and documents, the information to the authors for the book Finding Freedom, and that he did so with my knowledge for a meeting that he planned for with the authors in his capacity As communications secretary, the extent of the information he shared is unknown to me. Again, I would just say I stand by whatever I said in previous court proceedings. You stated in your primetime special interview with Oprah Winfrey on CBS that since the day of the interview, you last saw Mrs. Markle, whoever that is, at least 18 to 19 years ago, and before that, 10 years before that. And Meghan can say she stands by whatever she said in her interview. That was the best of her knowledge. It was her information and belief. You said in the primetime special interview with Oprah Winfrey on CBS that since the day of the interview, you last saw, I read that one already, the statement you made in the interview with Oprah Winfrey on CBS that you had not seen Meghan Markle since at least 18, 19 years ago, and before that, and 10 years before that, was not true. And Meghan can answer it. She stands by anything she stated to the best of her knowledge, information, and belief. She had a conversation with Mr. Knopf following his meeting with the authors of Finding Freedom, in which Mr. Knopf briefed you as to what he discussed with the authors of Finding Freedom. Well, you could say that's a vague, ambiguous question. She doesn't give a date, time, what she's talking about, and they can answer that to the best of their ability. You invited Samantha Markle to your first wedding. And she can answer yes or no, or I don't remember. You have lived in the same residence as Samantha Markle. Well, that would be as a child under 5. You were never forced at the age of 13 to work in low-paying jobs to make ends meet. Well, what does she consider a low-paying job? What does she consider to make ends meet? What's she talking about? Queen Elizabeth is not a racist. Well, how would anyone know if she's a racist? That is not within the scope of Meghan's knowledge. King Charles is not a racist. Again, not within the scope of Meghan's knowledge. When attending auditions, you drove Ford Explorer with functioning doors. That's a crazy question. What does that matter? You attended a private Catholic day school, Immaculate Heart High School. And she can answer that. On July 22nd, 2013, you posted on Instagram that you had lunch at a fine dining restaurant, Musso and Frank Grill, with your father after every tap and ballet class. That's vague. You're going to remember every tap and ballet class? 35. You did not publicly defend or support Mrs. Markle, whoever that is, after she received negative press. Who is Mrs. Markle? In the email dated December 10th, 2018, you stated that the plaintiff had lost custody of all three of her children from different fathers. Again, she can say she stands by whatever she stated previously. You called the plaintiff from the show of Deal or No Deal in Buenos Aires. She can say whatever she wants, but she might also say she has no recollection. Please list each and every lawsuit in which you have been a party in the last 10 years. Well, if there are a number of lawsuits, she can say that she does not have any recollection of what they were. Or she can list one or two. I don't know. That's kind of a crazy thing. It's kind of non-relevant. Have you ever provided any information to Jason Naff for him to share with the authors of Finding Freedom? Who knows? Anything you say could be used by an author. I could say hello to you, shake your hand, and that could be in a book. Did you at any discuss with anyone the idea of them participating or not participating in providing information in the authors of Finding Freedom, or contact the authors of Finding Freedom? Question is vague, ambiguous. Okay, for the rest of these, I'm going to do it on a different video because there are a whole bunch of crazy questions that she goes on to ask. So this will be the end of part 1. Samantha wants to know for her lawsuit. Like and subscribe. Bye.